Hello. Welcome. You're here now, and that is all that matters tonight. Whatever this day asked of you, whatever it demanded or expected, whatever small mistakes you replayed on the drive home or the walk to bed, whatever words you wish you'd said differently or left unsaid entirely, you can set all of that down now. Every last piece of it. You don't need to sort through it tonight. You don't need to fix anything or figure anything out. All of that can wait. It will keep. It has always kept. And right now, in this quiet moment, the only thing being asked of you is to breathe. So let's begin there. A slow breath in through your nose. Not forced, not deep, just easy. Let the air fill you the way rain fills a gutter, naturally, without effort, because that is simply what it does. Feel your chest rise gently. Hold it there for just a moment. Just a pause. Like the space between two notes of music. And release. Slowly. Through your mouth, like a long sigh at the end of a long day. Feel your shoulders soften. Feel your jaw loosen. There is no right way to do this. There is only your way, and your way is enough. Again. Breathe in slowly. Imagine you are breathing in the smell of old books, paper and dust and leather and the quiet patience of shelves that have held the same stories for decades. Let that warmth fill your lungs. Hold it gently. And let it go. A long, slow exhale. Feel the day leaving with it. Not all at once. Just a little more each time. You are not trying to get anywhere. You are already exactly where you need to be. One more. Breathe in, deeply, easily. Feel your belly rise like a gentle wave. And breathe out. Let everything soften. Every email, every task, every worry has been given permission to sleep before you do. They are resting somewhere far from here, in a drawer you do not need to open tonight. You are the last one to arrive at rest, and it has been waiting for you patiently, the way a warm room waits behind a door on a cold evening. Now let your breathing return to its own rhythm. It knows what to do. It has always known. And as it breathes for you, softly and steadily, we'll begin to let your body follow your breath into rest. Begin with your feet. They have carried you through this entire day. Across rooms and pavements and stairs you barely noticed, and they have not complained once. Let them feel that they are done now. Let the muscles unclench, the arches soften, the toes spread gently apart. Your feet grow warm and heavy, sinking into the surface beneath them like stones settling into sand. Your calves and your shins. These faithful pillars that kept you upright all day, that bent and flexed and absorbed every step. Let them rest. Let the muscles loosen and lengthen, as if warmth were slowly melting away every last thread of tension. There is no more standing to do tonight. There is no more walking. Your legs have earned this stillness. Your thighs, your hips. Let the heaviness settle into your pelvis like water settling in a bowl. Whatever you were carrying today, whatever invisible weight sat across your hips and lower back, you can set it aside now. It does not need you tonight. It can sit on the nightstand until morning, like a book you'll pick up again when you're ready, or perhaps never pick up at all. Your stomach and chest. Let your belly be soft. There is no need to hold anything in, no need to brace. Let your breathing move freely, rising and falling like a gentle tide. Your heart has been beating faithfully all day, without pause, without complaint. Let it settle into a gentler rhythm now. A nighttime rhythm. It knows the way. Your hands. Open your fingers slightly. They have done so much today, typing, gripping, holding, reaching. They have built and repaired and held on and let go. And now they can be still. Let them rest where they lie, as light and loose as two leaves on quiet water. Your shoulders and your neck. Let them drop. Really let them fall. Feel the space that opens between your ears and your shoulders when you stop bracing against the world. An inch, maybe two, of pure release. Your neck softens. The pillow receives your head without question, without judgment. And your face. Your jaw, let it hang slightly open. Your cheeks soften. The muscles around your eyes release, those tiny muscles that have spent all day reading, and focusing, and expressing things you may not even have felt. Your forehead smooths. No one is watching. No one needs anything from your face tonight. You do not need to be any particular thing for anyone. Whatever expressions you wore today, whatever masks of competence or patience or cheer, you can set them down now, gently, the way you might set down a hat you've been wearing too long. They served you well. But they are not needed here. Now imagine this. It is a late autumn evening in a small English village, the kind of village that tourism forgot, The kind where the high street is 3 shops, a post office, and a pub with a fire that has been burning since September. The sky went dark an hour ago, and a steady, soft rain has settled over everything, not heavy, not dramatic, just faithful and persistent, the kind of rain that has no intention of stopping and no apology for continuing, the kind that turns cobblestones into mirrors and makes the light from every window look twice as warm. You are standing beneath a small awning on the high street, and in front of you is a door. It is an old door, painted a deep, faded green, the paint cracked in places to show the wood beneath, and there is a brass handle worn smooth by a century of palms. Above the door, a wooden sign swings gently in the rain, a painted book, open, with the words W. Harding and Sons, booksellers, in gold letterings so old the gold has turned to amber. A small hand-lettered card in the window reads, in slightly crooked script, open. You push the door open. A small brass bell above the frame shivers once, not loud, just a single, clear note, like a bird's call across water, and then you are inside, and the world changes. The warmth reaches you first. It is the warmth of a radiator that has been on all afternoon, the kind of dry, steady heat that presses gently against your legs and rises through your clothes and finds the cold places in your body and fills them slowly, patiently, the way honey fills a jar. You feel it on your shins, on your hands, on the tip of your nose, and something inside you unclenches that you did not know was clenched. And then the smell. Oh, the smell. It is the most extraordinary smell in the world, and it is impossible to describe to anyone who has not stood in an old bookshop on a rainy evening, but it is something like this. Paper, very old paper, the kind that has gone soft and yellow at the edges, mixed with leather that has been slowly breathing its warm, animal scent into the air for decades, mixed with dust, not unpleasant dust, but the golden, gentle dust that accumulates on the tops of things that nobody has moved in a very long time because nobody has needed to, because they are exactly where they belong. And beneath all of this, something else, the faintest trace of beeswax from the wooden shelves, and Earl Grey tea from somewhere deeper in the shop, and rain, the clean, cold smell of rain on wool and leather shoes, which you have brought in with you like a gift from the outside world. The shop is small and tall and crammed with books in a way that should feel cluttered, but instead feels abundant, generous, overflowing with quiet stories that have been waiting patiently on their shelves for someone exactly like you, arriving on an evening exactly like this. The shelves rise from floor to ceiling on every wall, dark wood, oak, you think, though in this light everything is the color of honey and shadow, and they are filled beyond capacity, books standing upright and books lying on their sides and books wedged into gaps with the gentle insistence of things that simply needed somewhere to be. The spines face outward in every color a book has ever been. Deep greens, burgundies, faded blues, the warm brown of autumn leaves, the cream of very old paper, the black of serious titles with gold lettering that catches the light. There are 2 reading lamps in the shop. One sits on a desk near the window, a banker's lamp with a green glass shade that casts a circle of golden light onto a pile of books and a small notepad and a pen with a brass nib. The other is a standing lamp in the far corner, tall and slender, with a cream fabric shade that glows from within like a small, warm moon. Between them, the shop exists in a state of gentle shadow, not dark, never dark, but softly lit, the kind of light that forgives everything it touches, that makes old things look beautiful and imperfect things look treasured and worn things look loved. A Persian rug covers most of the floor, its pattern so faded and soft that the colors have become suggestions rather than statements, a whisper of red here, a murmur of blue there, the ghost of a geometric border that once meant something to someone in a workshop far away, a long time ago. The wooden floorboards creak very gently beneath your feet as you step onto the rug, and the sound is not a complaint but a greeting, the old wood saying, "Welcome, we've been here a while, we're glad you came in from the rain." By the bay window, there is an armchair. It is the kind of armchair that exists only in bookshops and grandparents' houses, deep, soft, upholstered in a fabric that was once green velvet but has been sat in so many times by so many people seeking exactly the kind of rest you are seeking now that it has become something else entirely. Something softer than velvet, something that holds the memory of every body it has cradled. There is a small side table beside it, and on the table sits a cup of Earl Grey tea in a china cup with a hairline crack running through the glaze like a tiny river on a map. The tea is still warm. Steam rises from it in a slow, lazy curl, and the smell reaches you, bergamot and tannin and milk, the smell of afternoons and patience and someone who took the time to put the kettle on. You sit down. The chair receives you the way an old friend receives a confession, without surprise, without judgment, with a sigh that says, I know, you don't have to explain." You sink into it, and the cushion gives under your weight, and the armrests are at exactly the right height for your elbows, and the whole world shrinks to the size of this chair, this cup of tea, this window, this rain. You sit in the armchair for a while, letting the warmth of the tea and the radiator work their way into your bones, and you look around the shop. There is no rush. The shop is not closing. The sign on the door says open and it means it. The way a harbor means it when its arms are spread wide, the way a fire means it when it crackles and says, "Come closer." You have all evening. You have all the rain in England and all the time in the world. The nearest shelf is labeled Poetry and Verse in a small, handwritten card tucked into a brass holder. The books here are slim and well handled, their spines soft from being opened many times, their pages falling naturally to the places where someone has lingered longest. You reach out and pull one from the shelf, a small cloth-bound volume in a blue the color of a winter sky just before dark. You open it, and the spine cracks softly, not breaking but settling, like a joint that needed stretching, and the pages fall open to a poem you do not read. Not really. Your eyes are too soft for reading tonight. They drift over the words the way your eyes might drift over the surface of a still pond, not looking for meaning, just watching the shapes, the white space, the way the lines break and breathe and leave room for silence. A phrase catches you, something about light through a window, something about rain, and it settles into you like a pebble settling to the bottom of clear water, slowly, gently, without ripple. You set the book back on the shelf. It slides into its gap with a soft, satisfying sound, and the shelf is whole again, every book leaning against its neighbor, holding each other up the way old books do, the way old friends do, without effort, without discussion, just because that is what they have always done. You stand, slowly, and begin to wander deeper into the shop. The floor creaks beneath you with each step, a different note for each board, a quiet song of old wood and old nails and the patient settling of a building that has stood on this street for 100 years or more. You trail your fingers along the shelf edges as you walk, and the wood is smooth and warm, worn to silk by decades of hands just like yours, browsers and wanderers and seekers of quiet who found their way here on evenings just like this, drawn in by the light in the window and the smell of old paper and the simple, irresistible promise of a room full of books and a place to sit. The shelves are arranged in no particular order, or perhaps in an order so personal and intuitive that only the shopkeeper understands it. Travel and Elsewhere gives way to Natural History, which gives way to a section labeled simply Wonder, and you pause here, because the word itself feels like an invitation, and the books on this shelf are beautiful. Old cloth covers in muted colors, some with small illustrations embossed in gold or silver, some with titles so intriguing they feel like the first lines of stories you have already begun to dream. There is a book about moths. There is a book about the mapping of the ocean floor. There is a slim volume about the history of bells. Each one is a small, quiet world, complete and self-contained and patient, waiting for the right person at the right time, and there is something deeply comforting about the idea that they will go on waiting, unhurried, unworried, for as long as it takes. You notice, as you wander, that many of the books show signs of their age not as damage but as character. A leather spine has cracked and been carefully repaired with thin tape that has itself turned amber with time. A cover is water-stained in one corner, a pale brown ring like a coffee mark on a tablecloth, and somehow the stain makes the book more interesting, more human, as if it carries the ghost of an afternoon when someone read it by an open window and the rain came in. Pages are dog-eared and pencil-marked and occasionally underlined, and these marks feel not like defacement but like conversation, like a reader from decades ago leaning across time to tap your shoulder and say, "Here, this is the part that mattered to me." These books are not perfect. They have not tried to be. They have been handled and dropped and shelved and reshelved and left in sunlight and carried on trains and read in baths and fallen asleep upon, and all of these things have left their marks, and all of these marks have made the books more beautiful, not less. More real. More themselves. The way a face is more beautiful for the lines it has earned, the way a wooden table is more beautiful for the scratches and rings and nicks that map its years of service, the way anything that has been truly used and truly loved is more beautiful than anything that has been kept in a box, pristine and untouched and afraid of the world. At the back of the shop, behind a shelf labeled Maps and Journeys, there is a doorway hung with a thick curtain the color of oxblood leather. You push through it. The fabric is heavy and warm against your hand, and it falls back behind you with a soft swish, and you find yourself in a smaller room, a back room, clearly the place where the shopkeeper spends their evenings. It is a room that has not been decorated so much as accumulated. A desk sits against one wall, covered with papers and open books and a magnifying glass and a pair of reading spectacles folded neatly on a velvet case. There is a small gas fire set into the wall, its blue and orange flames dancing quietly behind a brass guard, casting a warm, flickering light across the ceiling that moves like water, like the reflection of a river on an underside of a bridge. There is a wooden clock on the mantel, ticking with the slow, unhurried patience of a thing that has been measuring time for so long that it no longer takes the task seriously, that it ticks now not to tell you what time it is but simply to let you know that time is passing, gently, as it always does, and there is no need to chase it. And there, in a worn leather chair beside the fire, sits the shopkeeper. An older woman, perhaps 70, with silver hair gathered loosely at the nape of her neck and reading glasses perched on the end of her nose. She wears a grey wool cardigan that looks as old and as comfortable as the chair, and she is reading, not with the focused intensity of someone trying to finish before bedtime, but with the easy, unhurried pleasure of someone for whom reading is not a task but a way of being, like breathing, like listening to rain. She looks up as you enter, and she smiles. It is the kind of smile that does not need to be explained or earned or reciprocated. It is simply there, the way the fire is there, the way the books are there, warm and real and asking nothing. She sets her book down on the arm of her chair, spine up, pages fanned open like wings, and she reaches for a teapot on the small table beside her. "There's plenty in the pot," she says, pouring Earl Grey into a second cup, cream china, no two cups matching, a splash of milk already added because she knew, somehow, that you would come. The rain usually brings someone in. I never mind. The books like the company. She hands you the cup, and your fingers wrap around it, and the warmth is immediate and good. The kind of warmth that travels from your hands into your wrists and up through your arms and settles somewhere in the center of your chest like a small, golden light. You take a sip. The bergamot is there, bright and citric, and the milk has softened the tannin into something smooth and round, and the whole cup tastes like the smell of the shop itself, warm, old, patient, kind. She does not ask you where you are from. She does not ask you what you do. She does not ask you any of the questions that the world asks, the questions that require you to perform a version of yourself, to present your credentials, to justify your presence. She simply sits, and sips her tea, and looks at the fire, and occasionally at you, with that same quiet, unhurried warmth, and the silence between you is not awkward but full of rain and firelight and the slow ticking of the clock and the comfortable understanding that sometimes the best thing two people can share is the absence of the need to speak. After a while, 5 minutes, perhaps, or 20, it does not matter. She reaches down beside her chair and picks up a book. It is small and square, bound in soft brown leather that has gone dark at the edges with age, and the cover is blank except for a single word pressed into the leather in small, simple letters: repairs. "This is my favorite thing in the shop," she says, setting it on the table between you. "Not for sale. Never for sale." She opens it, and inside, on cream-colored pages, are photographs. Photographs of books. But not of books as they are now, of books as they were: damaged, broken, torn, water-stained, sun-bleached, spine cracked, cover lost. And beside each photograph, a second photograph, the same book, repaired. Not restored to perfection. You can still see where the damage was, where the new leather meets the old, where the restitched spine creates a slightly different line, but whole. Whole again. Still carrying the evidence of what happened to it, but no longer broken by it. She turns the pages slowly, and each pair of photographs tells a tiny story of something that was damaged and then mended, not by erasing the damage but by working with it, incorporating it, letting it become part of the object's history rather than the end of it. A beautiful green binding with a visible patch where the leather was torn. A gilt title re-stamped in gold that doesn't quite match the original. A new end paper in a slightly different shade of blue, giving the book a kind of heterochromia, two eyes of different colors, more interesting for the difference. Every one of these was going to be thrown away, she says, turning another page. Her voice is the color of the fire, warm, golden, quiet. Someone decided they were too damaged to keep. Too far gone. She smiles at a photograph of a particularly battered volume, its cover warped and stained, its spine hanging by threads. But there's no such thing as too far gone. Not really. Not if someone is willing to sit with the damage for a while and find the beauty in the mending. She closes the album and rests her hand on its cover, and the leather is warm from the firelight, and the room is warm from the fire, and you are warm from the tea and the chair and the rain on the skylight and the quiet, certain knowledge that you are in a place where nothing needs to be perfect, where damage is not a verdict but a chapter, where the cracks in the glaze of a teacup are not flaws but a map of all the mornings that teacup has been part of, all the hands that have held it, all the quiet moments it has witnessed. In the corner of the back room, a narrow staircase rises into the upper floor of the shop. The stairs are bare wood, each step worn into a gentle concave by years of feet, and the banister is dark oak, smooth and warm under your hand. You climb slowly. The stairs creak in their old, familiar way, and the sound is not a warning but a welcome, each step saying, "We know, we've carried many people up these stairs, we can carry you too." The upper gallery is a long, low room tucked under the eaves of the building. The ceiling slopes on both sides, meeting in a ridge above the center of the room, and the bookshelves here are smaller, built to fit the angles, tucked into every alcove and corner. There is a dormer window at the far end, and through it you can see the village street below, the cobblestones shining with rain, the warm glow of the pub opposite, a single street lamp casting a pool of gold on the wet stones. The rain is louder here, closer to the roof, each drop distinct on the tiles above you, 1,000 tiny percussionists playing a symphony that has been playing since this afternoon and will go on playing through the night. There is a window seat built into the dormer, a broad, cushioned ledge with a reading lamp clipped to the wall above it and a stack of blankets folded neatly at one end. You sit down on the cushion and draw your legs up, and the window seat holds you like a nest, enclosed on 3 sides by shelves and on the 4th by the rain-streaked glass, and you feel the particular kind of safety that comes from being in a small, warm space while the weather does its wild work outside, the safety of the rabbit in its burrow, the bird in its eaves, the child beneath the blanket, the book on its shelf. You pull one of the blankets over your legs. It is wool, thick and soft, in a heather-colored weave, and it smells faintly of lavender, not the sharp, artificial lavender of soaps, but the dry, papery lavender of a sachet that has been sitting in a drawer since last spring, doing its gentle work without being asked. The wool is warm immediately, as if it has been waiting to warm someone, as if warmth is what it was made for. From the window seat, you can see the rain falling on the street in the lamplight, each drop catching the gold for a fraction of a second before hitting the cobblestones and disappearing into the general sheen of wet. The pub across the street has its curtains drawn, but warm light leaks around the edges, and occasionally you hear, very faintly, through the rain and the glass, a burst of soft laughter, the kind that is not sharp or sudden but round and rolling, the kind of laughter that comes from people who have known each other a long time and are telling stories they have all heard before and love hearing again, not for the punchline but for the telling. You lean your head against the window frame. The glass beside you is cold. You can feel the chill radiating from it, a pleasant contrast to the warmth of the blanket and the close, book-scented air, and the rain runs down the outside in dozens of tiny streams, each one a small journey from somewhere to somewhere else, and you watch them the way you might watch a fire, not really seeing, just letting your eyes rest on the movement, the pattern, the endless gentle repetition of water finding its way down glass. There is a book on the window seat beside you. It was here when you arrived, left by some previous reader, its pages still warm, perhaps, from their hands. It is a book about English churches, not their architecture or their theology, but their quiet details, the carving of a face in a misericord, the dedication scratched into a bell, the wildflower that has pushed through the flagstone floor of a nave and been allowed, by some gentle vicar, to grow. You open it at random, and the pages fall to a chapter about kneelers, those small, embroidered cushions found in the pews of village churches, stitched by parishioners over decades, each one different, each one imperfect, each one a labor of careful, patient love. The photographs show kneelers with crooked stitches and kneelers with uneven borders and kneelers where the embroiderer has clearly run out of one color of wool and switched to another that does not quite match. And the text speaks of these imperfections with such tenderness, such respect, that you feel something soften inside you, some small, clenched thing that has been holding on too tight for too long. These kneelers are not failures. They are offerings. They were made by hands that shook, by eyes that strained, by people who knew they could not make something perfect but decided to make something anyway, because the making mattered more than the result, because the offering was in the effort, not the outcome. And they have survived, these imperfect, beautiful things, survived in their pews for decades, holding the knees of strangers who never knew the hands that stitched them, and they are still doing their work, still offering comfort, still being exactly what they were always meant to be. Not perfect, but present. Not flawless, but faithful. You close the book and set it gently back where you found it. The rain on the window has not changed. It is the same rain, the same rhythm, the same soft, faithful tapping, and you lean back against the cushion and listen to it, and the warmth of the blanket and the tea in your belly and the close, golden air of the bookshop wraps around you like arms around a child, and you feel your eyelids grow heavy, your breathing deepen, your thoughts slow and soften and begin to blur at the edges, the way the rain blurs the street lamp outside, the way the years have blurred the colors of the rug downstairs, the way everything gentle and good becomes softer with time. The bookshop is quieter now. Everything has settled. The fire downstairs has burned low, its flames small and blue and drowsy. The clock ticks on, each tick further apart, each one a gentle letting go. You are in the window seat. The blanket is warm. The rain is soft. The books on every side of you are sleeping, their stories resting between closed covers, their characters still, their worlds paused. They do not mind. Stories are patient. They will be there in the morning. Your body is heavy now. Beautifully heavy. Not the heaviness of burden but the heaviness of surrender, of a body that has decided, on its own, to stop holding itself up and let the cushion do the work, let the blanket do the work, let the night do the work. Every muscle has made its choice. Every limb has found its place. The shopkeeper downstairs is sleeping. Her book has slipped from her hand. Her reading glasses are folded on the table. The fire warms her gently, and the clock ticks for her, and the rain falls on the skylight above her chair, and she is at peace. Whatever you carried into this shop tonight, whatever old regret, whatever nagging thought, whatever conversation you have replayed too many times in the small hours, whatever mistake you have been unable to forgive yourself for, it is resting now too. It has found a shelf. It has been placed, gently, among the other old and imperfect and beautiful things in this shop, and it does not need to be taken down again tonight. The books are sleeping. The fire is sleeping. The clock is sleeping. Its ticks so far apart now they're indistinguishable from silence. The rain is sleeping, barely falling, barely there, just a whisper, just a memory of rain, just enough to say, I am still here. You are not alone. You have done enough today. You have done more than enough. Whatever you accomplished or didn't, whatever you said or failed to say, whatever small imperfection you are still holding against yourself, it is done. It is in the past. And the past, like an old book, carries its marks not as shame but as proof that it was lived in, that it was real, that it mattered. You are not your mistakes. You are not the things you wish you'd done differently. You are the person who walked into a bookshop on a rainy evening, looking for warmth, and found it. You are the person who was handed a cup of tea by a stranger who asked nothing in return. You are the person who saw a book of repairs and understood, without being told, that the mending is the most beautiful part. The wool against your skin is warm. The glass beside you is cold and streaked with rain. These two things together, the warm and the cold, the inside and the outside, the shelter and the storm, are all you need. You are held between them, cradled, safe. Nothing needs to happen now. Nothing at all. The village is sleeping. The cobblestones are sleeping beneath the rain. The pub has gone dark, its laughter folded away for the night. The street lamp still burns, one small golden eye in the dark, keeping watch over nothing, keeping watch over everything, keeping watch over you. Your eyes are closed. They have been closed for a long time. The window seat is your bed now. The blanket is your cocoon. The rain is your lullaby. And the books, the thousands of quiet, patient, imperfect, beautiful books all around you, are your companions in this rest, standing on their shelves in the dark, holding their stories gently, asking nothing, offering everything, being exactly what they are, and that is enough. That has always been enough. Let go. The way a leaf lets go of a branch in autumn. Not because it has failed, but because it is time. Not because the tree has rejected it, but because the wind is gentle and the ground is soft, and falling is not a catastrophe but a homecoming. You are warm. You are held. You are forgiven, by the night, by the rain, by the quiet old shop that welcomed you without question. And now, gently, softly, like a page turning in a book no one is reading, you let yourself rest. Sleep. sleep now. The rain continues. You are warm. You are safe here. Rest. The books hold you. sleep. Warmth. Rain on the roof. Soft. Steady. Always. Nothing to do. Deep, deep sleep.